Hello guys and welcome to another video. So this video is basically going to be my second 10 million coin investments. Also we're just going to do a quick little run up of last week's. If you don't know what this is, basically I dropped some investments that I'm going to be going absolutely hamming. And just so you guys can see from a trading standpoint, like which sort of players are, which sort of players could end up being very, very good and very, very profitable. But what we'll do before is, I guess we'll talk about this quickly, I'll probably remind you at the end. Basically, I'm planning on doing a 24-hour stream during Black Friday. Black Friday, if you don't know, is a 24-hour promo, so I thought might as well be live for the whole thing. Probably end up being closer to a 25 to 26 hour. So that's just start on the 23rd, which is Black Friday, around about 1 PM, because the promo starts at 2. And as I say, it'll run all the way to probably about 2, 3 PM on the 24th. So if you want to check that out, I'll be live over on Twitch. Link obviously can be down below. So that's just addressing the elephant in the room. That is the shout out to the stream we're doing. But now what we're going to do is talk about last week's investments of Firpo and Alameda. So Alameda I picked up for about 13k and Firpo picked up for about 12.50. You got loads under 12 as well. So we only managed to get about 6 million because they actually only stayed cheap for one night. It was very strange. They're very, very cheap for the night of the night of them actually coming out, so Wednesday night. But after Wednesday night, going into Thursday's rewards in the morning, they just went up and up and up. So I only managed to put 6 million coins in the first night. About an average of 12.5k between both cards. I worked out about around about an average of 450, probably to 500 cards. These cards bring me in a net, so this is like before tax, of about 2.5k profit per card, which isn't too bad. Which means obviously if you do 2.5 times by 480 means we made about 1.2 million coins before tax. I'll average tax around about let's say about 300k ish. So after tax made about 900k, which isn't too bad. Didn't end up being the best plays this week. Obviously the best plays would have been go with Hector, but I mean that was a very, very long shot in all fairness. But yeah, we actually made some good money on the German informs because we invested it on the second time they went down when they took out the SBC, and then obviously it came back up. So this week we probably made about 3-4 million coins. So it's very, very, very decent, to be honest, in all fairness. But this is oh yeah, I actually saw about why these didn't do as well as I wanted them to. There was so many opportunities where you could have made these go up. We had first off Bundesliga POTM, couldn't use generic informs. You had to use a German inform and a Bundesliga inform, as we know. We then round to the Icon SBC. Obviously, if they kept the Icon SBC how it was, probably would have been pretty decent because every single inform would have gone through the roof. But obviously, they took that out and only just recently re-released it with relatively naff rewards. So I don't really think people were doing, they're going up for that. And most recently, yesterday, we got a flashback Hernandez, and I didn't need one inform whatsoever. So screwed up the rest of my investments for this week actually, which is brilliant. So yeah, there were 3 opportunities where I could have made them needed, but they weren't needed. If that be that there's going to be a Team Week SBC on Friday because, maybe they want to keep Team Weeks in circulation. Who knows? Now, talking about Team Weeks, that is the whole investments this week. And the 2 investments this week. I'll tell you the investments this week are going to be normal Kolarov and normal Kane. That's the Ks. So we're going to head over to a display capture right here. And this is Foothead's Team Week prediction. And it is very, very similar to the majority Team Week predictions. The main one I use is Kieran SSF, Scan for FIFA. Drops it on a Friday before every single site's prediction. So make sure to check him out, Che. He's a good guy. He's yeah. The video is pretty decent, I mean, his predictions are decent, as in makes quite good calls. Very good for my investing. I use it literally every single week. So this is a Team Week prediction, which means someone is predicting what's going to be coming up in the Team of the Week. And there you go, there's the team, and there's the starting 11. Likewise, we've got the likes of Footwiz. Footbin doesn't actually support my agenda on this one, so I haven't banged in Footbin. But a lot of them are very, very similar, and again, have the likes of Kolarov and Kane in. So good. And again, likewise, Kieran's had Kolarov and Kane. So, yeah, happy days. So I'm going to talk about what pre-Team Week investing is, because I've never actually talked about this on my channel. And I get a lot of people in my stream who don't understand how it is as well. It kind of makes sense, I guess. Why people wouldn't understand, because it's a strange concept. So basically, if Kane is about to go and get a Team of the Week, obviously there is therefore a Kane Team of the Week card in packs. You can't pack normal Kane because then people would be a bit miffed off. Let's say they got normal Kane instead of inform Kane. Therefore, as a result, normal Kane is not going to be in packs for a week, which means his card is obviously not in packs for 7 days, and therefore theoretically the supply does not change, but there is going to still be demand. Now, how it'd work with a player who's, I guess, is demanded for a weekend league is that there wouldn't be any packs during rewards, but people would still have coins from rewards and therefore them go up. Whereas another example, such as Kolarov, would be more that, okay, so he's 9 packs for a week, but Kolarov is consistently being thrown in SBCs, meaning his card's getting rarer and rarer and rarer, but it's not like he's in packs for Black Friday where there's so much of his card being packed and spammed on the market. He isn't in packs for Black Friday, which means, his supply gets rarer and rarer and rarer, and could end up going extinct. So as I say, there's a few things how these work. They're not going to be in packs for a week, because, you know, the gold cards aren't going to be in packs for the week because Team Week, so if they're ever demanded or taken off the market, they're not being resupplied via being packed. So that's that. Let's move on to the first investment, and that is going to be in fact, actually, let me go show you some examples from last week. I didn't plan on doing this, but I think it would just be quite a good thing to go and do. So we have got the likes of Rami right here. Rami's quite an SBC sort of card, and Rami is sitting at about 4.8k now. Prior to the week, because again he would have been in packs, he was sitting at probably around about 1.6k. Yeah, you can see Tuesday, and he peaked up there for 4k. That would have been for an SBC. Again, he's maintained not being in packs for 5k and 7k, or sorry, 6k over here on Xbox. So that's a very good example of a guy from a guy not being in packs. I mean, we could go bang at Oshawari. I'm sure his card's pretty decent. Oshawari's normal gold card is going for 2.3 to 2.4, so not as good because he's really not using SBCs as much. Ooh, here's a good little number right here. The likes of Szczesny. If I'm not wrong, people were telling me that Szczesny actually went extinct last night. Where is Szczesny now? Szczesny again, 6k prior all this was about 3k. He'd be about 3-4k anyway, just because of the SBCs. But obviously he's just a little bit more inflated because he is not currently in packs. So there's some examples of players not being in packs, but going up. So enough about that. We're gonna move on to Kane. Yeah, happy days. So Kane, obviously being a high rare player, demanded for Weekend League, is going to hold a bit of a price. So the prices you're looking to buy normal Kane at is going to be about 82k on PlayStation and 78k on Xbox. Yeah, which is pretty decent because this is actually the cheapest that Kane has ever been, which is very strange because he's obviously going into the Team Week, running off the back of, going into a lot of Team Week predictions. Why is he making into a lot of Team Week predictions? So it was against England and Croatia's game. Of course, England winning in the last few minutes. So, you know, it's coming home in that. So, Kane, of course, right here, getting himself the man of the match with an 8.1 rating. On top of that, bagging a goal and an assist. I don't know where the assist is credited. But yeah, Kane got himself a goal and assist off this one. So, not too shabby. On top of that, got himself a man of the match. So, the thing about this current team of the week, and I'll be able to jump back over here, you can see there is a lack of high rating players. So, although you're saying a goal and assist is probably a bit of a push of an 89 rate card, at the end of the day, there really isn't too much thrown there. I think there was a few Salas in predictions. But yeah, in the end of the day, Kane's the big guy. And again, he's making into quite a lot of these predictions. So I'd have a decent, decent odds on, I guess, in making it in. So with his price-wise, it is very strange because he is actually the cheapest he's ever been. He hasn't like gone up 10k since the SBC. It is very strange. I can also go look at the hourly graph on Sunday. So this is when he played his game and scored. We did see they went slightly up here on Xbox, but that was like 2k. But on PlayStation, it's completely the other way. Look, started at 86k and just went down to 82 and 81. Very strange. So this is actually the cheapest Kane's been. So you can still really get in on him in a good little investment right now. So yeah, that's pretty decent. Very, you know, relatively risk free because he's not already inflated, which means probably is, you know, probably lack of investments. The one thing I would say is still didn't actually work last week. Because I was looking for examples. I was like, okay, some of that back up my point would be a good example. The likes of Royce really didn't move. So I mean, that could be that we're going into Black Friday and Kane actually not being in packs for Black Friday could be a completely different scenario. But it's a little bit, you know, it's a little bit iffy because Royce didn't go up. But nonetheless, I'd still have decent faith in him. Now, a few more things about Kane's price is, if I show you this daily graph, in the last month, this guy's dropped 100k. What does this mean? You can interpret it loads of different ways, to be completely honest. One, maybe that this demand for him has dropped off. Two, maybe he's just being a very I guess, sold card for Black Friday. You know, like, people are really expecting that Black Friday crash on him. I mean, we're seeing this trend with a lot of people that they've just dropped for the nothing but the last month. We can also see that there has been a fair bit of demand from him. You know, you see right there that he spikes there for Weekend League, spikes there for Weekend League, spikes there for Weekend League, for at least 10k. So, you know, it could be a very safe investment off the back of that one. So why will again Kane do pretty well? Kane will do pretty well because he won't be in packs. Therefore, people have been waiting off to buy their weekly teams. If they're smart, they'll go and buy it on Thursday with Kane because he won't be in packs, and therefore his card, won't be madly supplied. And unless there is a massive market crash, won't drop. So, how can you trade with Kane? What's quite nice about Kane is he's probably going to be a fast flip. Therefore, now I'm going to want to move on to is how I'm actually going to organise these investments. Now, I'm not fully sold on yet, so I don't have any example really to show you. But I am obviously looking to mass invest in these. Now, when you're mass investing in these, you don't actually have full control under what pops up under your unassigned. Even if you buy loads of cards first, they don't always pop up. They're not always the first ones popping up on your unassigned. Therefore, a way for you to make two investments, but make sure you have all of one investment, is to go and buy, I was thinking about 80 Canes, which would, 80's, like, what's that, 640? So 6.4 million on Canes on the transfer list. So have all of these in here, and then go mass invest in my Kolarov on my unassigned. So again, so I can sell all my Canes on Thursday, but hold on to my Kolarovs without my Canes being at the back of the unassigned and me having to sell my Kolarovs to get to my Canes. So that's going to be the plan of action again, just so I can go and access them ASAP. So the idea with a flip on this guy is going to be to go and buy him today, and to go and flip him on Thursday with rewards. Don't really think I will be holding him into weekend league, so if he doesn't really get up too much with rewards, maybe I'll say sell him on Friday, but I don't really want to be holding on to him going into weekend league. I wouldn't mind having the coins to go and drop onto something else instead. If that'd be 83s or 84s. But there you go. So that is Kane. Again, we've gone through the risks that he didn't. Well, Royce didn't go up last week, even though he would have been theoretically even a player who's even more demanded for weekend league. Also, Mertens week 4 didn't really do too well, so that's looking a little bit iffy with the likes of Kane. So we're now going to move on to our next investment, a little bit more risky, but a card that I could very easily see it go extinct, given that he isn't in packs, and that is going to be Kolarov. Kolarov is actually going to go up for a completely different reason, as I stated earlier, and that is that Kolarov isn't going to go up because he's demanded for weekend league, ever so surprisingly. Kolarov is going to go up because he is used for SBCs. Why is he used for SBCs? Because there is a lack of high-rated left-backs in FIFA. So if I can get to there you go. Here is the distribution of left backs in FIFA. We go high rated. None of these can be used because they're not good value for money. We then have Felipe Luis and Tellez. Again, they're very, very inflated right now. But then have the 382s. Now, one thing I will say is Alonso and Hernandez had only recently gone down loads in price, which as a result of them only recently going down in price means we don't know how Kodorov's going to react due to the others getting cheap. I mean, we can already see that they've all risen, but Kolarov has kept being the cheapest. Which is decent because he means he's still vouchable to invest in. But that's one of the drawbacks, is every single time Kolarov has gone up loads, it's because he was the only cheap 82. So if I head over here showing you Kolarov, here's a bunch of his price fluctuating every single time that he's needed. It's kind of mad. First time he was needed, I don't know what he was needed for every other day, but he is spiking like mad. Second time he was needed, third time he was needed, fourth time he was needed. You can see that these cards just spike loads. Just due to there being a lack of high-rated left-backs. And as I say, I've been following this card quite a lot. I follow quite a lot of the guys who are really good for SBCs. So, yeah, like Kolarov is going to be an amazing card for SBCs. And I actually believe that he'd go extinct because I have a bit of a theory on what EA is going to do. So last year EA dropped 2 Team of the Week SBCs. I should probably be showing you these, if I can show you these. We'll go into the archive quickly. But yeah, so EA had 2 Team of the Week SBCs during Black Friday and Cyber Monday, 1 for each. And obviously these were rolling in just before the Team Week. The Team Week SBCs gave us over a... I won't actually be able to show you right now. But gave you over a Inform Young and an Inform Tadic, I believe. And basically you had to trade in a very, very cheap team. It was like an 81 rate team, 1 Manchester player, 1 United player, and 90 chemistry. And basically you got yourself a Young for basically free. Now, I think EA could do the exact same this time, but with either premium SBCs, I don't really see so much, but more throwbacks, because we got a throwback Hernandez ending on Friday, just obviously just before a potential Team of the Week SBC. So, a throwback SBC. So, as a result, I'm using a throwback. We've seen that the very common requirements are high chemistry, relatively high rating, and then like a specific league or nation depending on the player. And obviously, due to needing high chemistry, Kolarov's going to be amazing. I mean, Kolarov spiked up to 6k last night, which again really screwed over my investments because I did want to buy him for 2k, 2.5k, and obviously I'm going to pay 1k more, which actually increases the risk. One thing I'm not too much of a fan of now. He was going back to 2.5k last night, and yesterday I was like recommending all my viewers to go ham on him. Obviously they were quite happy because he was ended up using the SBC and went up loads, and obviously they profited off quite nicely. But yeah, obviously the risk of buying for 3.5 is if he's not needed. He'll stay expensive because of the Hernandez SBC, but or if he's not in the team of the week, sorry, he could easily go down to about 2k, 2.5k. So obviously losing out on a fair bit of coin. But again, if I theorize, if he has 9 packs, he'll go extinct just because of how commonly he's used. We've seen this happen a little bit last year. I can't think of any required times this year when a player was so demanded for SBC. We have the likes of Alex Tellers last year when he had his 83, 84 rate card. He went extinct, I think it was the week of one of the team of the seasons when you needed high rate players. Don't quote me on that. I'm not fully sure off the top of my head. But yeah, these sort of players where they're very rare. Also, it's like 2 days. They can go sometimes because he's being used in the Hernandez SC. It could be 2-3 days or just, I don't know, 1 to 2 days. Just before Friday. And he could already be at 7-8k just because he's consistently been using these SBCs, and all he has to do is make him the cheapest scenario, and he's just going to keep on going up and up and up. So there's lots of colors. See if there's anything else. Oh yeah, one of the reasons he's really good for SBCs is due to him linking up with a lot of the cheapest of very good value for money high rate players. So anywhere from 83s to 80. Well, I don't know anywhere from 83s to what, maybe 88 he links up with cheap high rate players. So we can start with 83s. We've got the likes of De Rossi, obviously giving him a strong link. We've got the likes of Lucas Leiva. Calcio doesn't actually have any 83 rated centre backs, so obviously nothing in that department. But there's quite a lot of cheap of 83s. 84s we go into, links obviously up with De Vrij, links up with Raul Abiel, get some links to them. Moving into 85s, he links up with the likes of Skriniar, links up with Miranda, links up with Kadira. Obviously, they're a little bit inflated right now, but these are some of the cheapest high-rated players. So if you need a bit of high rating and high chemistry, it's probably not a bad compromise. 86s, again, links up with Bonucci, Pjanic. Moving on to 87s, links up to Icardi, Hamsik, and Koulibaly. Again, not really some of the cheapest right there. And then 88, we've got Higuain and Handanovic, and of course Insigne down the flank. So yeah, some pretty decent links up right there if you need the high rating and high chemistry. Obviously quite good for the generic SBCs and of what's it called? Generic SBCs of flashbacks. If they want an 85, maybe we'll see a few of those combos being thrown in right now. I guess I'll talk a little bit more about the negatives of me hyping up both players. Mainly going to be the Kolarov. If I hype him up too much. Now, if I hype up Kolarov too much, the drawback is that if he doesn't make it in, he'll potentially crash even harder, because this has happened in the past. Hyped up an investment, they weren't needed, they crashed. Just because everyone invested, hoping they could flip it on the Wednesday. And obviously when they couldn't flip on the Wednesday, they just sold because they didn't want to be in the card whatsoever. So that's one thing. Another thing is if I hype up too much and he does make it in, it could be that everyone's going to try and sell at the same time and that he doesn't go up whatsoever. I've had this definitely in the past, obviously the likes of Lala, the likes of Maguire, that so many investors have the card. And there's just not enough demand for the card other than the investors, and the card just ends up not going up. But again, I think with the excessive amount of SBCs we got on Black Friday, I honestly do think that'd be I don't know if it'll be an excessive amount that needs Kolarov, but we don't know how we're going to run Black Friday this year. I don't see that being the case, and I do see Kolarov being very, very good. And obviously, you're going to have to buy him about 3 to 4k. I put 4k max for Kolarov. Obviously, Xbox users I wouldn't recommend it. PC users, yeah, I'd say. But obviously at 4k is a risk of probably about 1.5 to 2k right there on dropping if if not dropped in the Wednesday SBC. Of course he still has the Hernandez. So I think that's about it. There's the two investments this week. We've got Kolarov and Kane. Obviously didn't do too badly last week. I'm gonna probably go and put about 800 because I have more than 10 mil, but I think obviously 10 mil probably looks a little bit better for the title, and 14 mil investment probably not the best. I'm probably going to end up, once I sold all my informs, probably again on around about 13 to probably 15 million. Actually, no, I'd probably say about 14 to 15 million in all fairness. So the plan of action probably going to be put about 8 mil on Kane, and then the rest on Kolarov's up to 4k. Kolarov's going to be a lot more risky than Kane any day. And yeah, that's probably going to be the play. So, yeah, I guess that's going to run the end of the video. Thank you. Thanks very much for watching. I guess we'll plug a few things. Once again, 24-hour stream over on Black Friday. One interesting thing I'll be doing, and I'll actually make this into a YouTube video, which will be, I think, quite interesting for you guys, is I'll do a challenge to see how many coins I can trade in 24 hours. I'm going to start the account when the stream starts. Obviously do some SBCs, do a little bit of trading, trade for the SBCs. I'm not going to use it as my priority account. It's just going to be, okay, well, maybe market spend it on the main account. Alright, where there's nothing to do on the main account, we'll jump on this account, have a little play around, a few SBCs, just so we have a little bit more content for that 24-hour stream. And say I'll probably put the highlights of that into a YouTube video, because I think for you guys it'd be interesting. I mean, it's the most active time to trade, I think, Black Friday, because of the amount of SBCs. So, you know, if there's any time I could make $1 million in 24 hours, 0 to $1 million in 24 hours, it would be then. Who knows? Maybe I'll make into a 3-part Road to Glory, and I don't know, maybe people would want to see that sort of stuff more often. So yeah, that will be one thing I'll be doing on it. So that might be quite interesting for you guys starting at any point in the Road to Glory, because you might be able to follow me and see how I'm making coins over on there. So that should be all good. Again, that'll be over on Twitch. Twitch link will be down below. If you guys are interested, on Twitch I do offer for my subs, which you can get for free of Amazon Prime. I do daily trading guides, so if that's of interest, you can hit me up. I basically did my pre-team week investments 2 days ago, and obviously Colin Rolf is in about 2 to 2.5, so not bad. If you have things, Twitter, I do tweet when the YouTube videos are live, and when I'm streaming, I tweet some other stuff in between as well. Nothing too bad. If you did like the video, make sure to drop it a like. Hey, if you made money on Almeida and Fimos, maybe it's worth taking a punt with some of these this week as well. If you do want to, you can sub. I upload every single day, so I might miss a video every now and again, but nothing too excessive. So yeah, make sure to subscribe if you wish. But yeah, any questions, drop them down below. I'm pretty chill to answer them. But just thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you guys tomorrow with a video. What are we going to plan doing tomorrow then? Wouldn't probably know. Maybe I'll drop some more silver trading filters, because there are actually loads and loads of really good filters with that one. So I might go and drop a little vid on that. But yeah, cheers for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.